I bought this beat up dresser for $30 and made a pretty nice profit after getting it cleaned up and refinished. I used an airless sprayer to quickly apply a satin white base coat over the primer. I like to start with the drawers out of the dresser so that I can get in all the nooks and crannies. Can't say I recommend spraying the drawers while on the ground. I learned that it's better to spray them in the dresser so that there's less chance for dust blowing up and overspray getting on the sides of the dresser. I let this coat dry for about an hour or so before spraying the second coat. I got really good coverage on this project, so only 2 coats were needed. After letting the paint dry overnight, I brushed on some ebony wood stain to create a textured effect on the top and sides. After I've covered one section, I'll immediately wipe it off with a rag, wiping back and forth until I get the look I'm going for. I work in sections because the stain dries up pretty fast. Once the top is done, I'll knock out the sides and then the drawers. The stain also highlights any detailed areas like the base of the dresser here. The drawers of this dresser have so much detail they were screaming to be highlighted with this glazing technique. It takes a lot more work to get all of the stain into the crevices, but it takes even more work to wipe it all off and make sure that nothing gets left behind or drips down. After I wipe the majority of the stain away, I'll place the drawer in the dresser and wipe off more until the tone of the drawer matches the top. This ensures that everything matches instead of one drawer being darker or lighter than the other ones. After I have the tone that I want, it's just a matter of repeating the process with the remaining drawers. This whole process is time consuming, but I think it's worth it. Glazing makes the texture of the furniture more unique, and I found that customers are more than happy to pay for the extra effort. After letting the stain dry overnight, I used several coats of aerosol lacquer to protect my finish and give everything a bit of a glossy sheen. Sometimes I use my sprayer with water-based polyurethane, sometimes I do it this way. It really just depends on the project or what I have on hand at the time. I use some dark gray hammered spray paint to quickly mute the brass hardware so that it matches everything else. All that's left to do now is install the hardware and I'm done. In the end, I sold this dresser for $500 and it only took a few hours of work over the course of a few days. Not a bad profit.